So I'm Angie, and then this is Anistyn, my little firecracker of a little girl, 9 years old. She's very sweet, caring, big ball of energy, very, very 9-year-old girl, excited and happy all the time, and yeah, that's it. In school, she was getting a lot of marks to begin with, talking, and let's see, the teacher was expressing how she wasn't focusing on like the lessons, talking to her friends too much, and not retaining, I guess, the information that she was teaching in class. Well, of course, the marks coming home, the teachers expressing how she was talking a lot, not doing so great on homework and assignments, and then also her kind of just falling behind in class. So I needed to, I guess, seek help on helping her, advance. It was a lot of me feeling like I'm on repeat, and I felt so bad about this too. And it's always just, Anistyn, go clean your room. Anistyn, pick up your clothes. Anistyn, I've told you 5 times, go clean your room. You haven't done that yet. And, and also like the eating too. She would only want, peanut butter and jelly for dinner, or macaroni and cheese, and then that was it. Just her 2 set things. It's a struggle. It was a struggle because, I just wanted her to try and like branch out more. And I felt like I was always reprimanding and just scolding her and getting frustrated with myself and with Anistyn because she just, to me, wasn't listening. She won't listen. I can't get her to listen, and just getting so frustrated all the time. And I didn't want her to feel like I'm always frustrated and upset with her when I'm not. I'm just trying to get her to obtain the information and do, I guess you could say. Same thing at school. Oh my gosh. And then of course whenever she would come home with the marks, I felt bad, but I needed to discipline her, like, Anistyn, you're grounded because you're coming home with the mark, because it's saying, you're distracting others and you're talking to your friends and you're not paying attention, and I feel bad, but of course she needed, the discipline and the repercussions of being bad in school. So, and again, just me getting frustrated, and it makes me feel guilty as a mom, because I'm always I feel like she was always getting in trouble, and then it's just me always being upset with Anistyn. Like, oh my gosh, you've got a mark again. Oh my God, Anistyn, give me your phone, you're grounded. And, and then after we would struggle through homework, she would come home with homework, of course, and it would take us an hour to an hour and a half to complete like a little reading assignment and like math. And then of course me getting mad at her with the mark, and then whenever we start our homework, me getting mad at her because she's not focusing on the homework. Anistyn, come on, you're getting distracted, do pay attention. And then of course after that, then it's go clean your room, and then she's not listening to that, so then I get mad at her again. And I felt like it was just a constant cycle of me being upset with Anistyn, and I was just getting upset with myself because I didn't want her to feel like I'm mad at her, because I'm not. So.
And I get mad.
You get mad?
Because you're yelling at me and I can't help it.
Yeah. Yes. So I had talked to her teachers, of course, and, telling me, oh, Anistyn's falling behind. She's not doing good on her assignments. She's talking out loud. And so I was like, okay, well, let me consult her pediatrician. So they give you the big checklist, turn this into your teachers. They'll, assess Anistyn in the school as well. And, once you do all that paperwork and submit it back to them, of course, they come back saying, oh, she's ADHD. Here's some medication to put her on. Okay, great. This is it. This is going to be my miracle drug to help out Anistyn. So of course we put her on the medication, lowest dosage, and she comes home, no more marks, of course, but whenever I speak with Anistyn, she tells me, yeah, the medicine, it makes me be quiet, it makes me be still, but I still don't grasp what they're telling me. I'm not really focused on the assignments she's teaching. And then, of course, loss of appetite. She's coming home with a full lunch kit that I've packed her for the day. So, and of course, she hates the medicine too. She's always got headaches every day. I feel like she had a headache or her stomach hurt because, of course, curs her appetite. She's not hungry. And then I didn't see any improvement in her grades. They were still the same, but she didn't have the marks. So, of course,
As soon as I took it, I was like, so first when I took it, I was like starving, and then I started getting like not hungry, and I started getting like headaches and stomach aches. But when my head was hurting, everybody was screaming, so it just made it worse, and then I just wasn't hungry for the whole entire day.
I was thinking this is not the answer. Medication is just not the answer. So I had learned about it from my fiance. He had done neurofeedback because he had been in a lot of like car accidents, football, a lot of concussions, and somebody had suggested to their family, and he had started it, and he had just raved about how it just changed his life. And it was just as simple as coming in, being kind of hooked up to the cool brain machine, and then all you do is kind of just sit down and watch the TV, and your brain in the background does all the work. And he said it just completely rewired his brain. So I was like, it's very interesting. So I had Googled a lot into it, and I had found y'all on Google, and it was super close to my house. So I was like, what, I'm gonna give it a go. I don't want Anistyn on medication for the rest of her life, because I feel like that's just always the answer for kids who are ADHD. Put them on the medication and this will help them. So I wanted to look into something that was more, I guess you could say natural, I don't know, something that will help the brain without drugging them, I guess you could say. So that is whenever I called. I wanted to know that it would help her understand that whenever like the teacher is talking or the teacher is teaching the lesson, that she needs to not have her outbursts, to kind of sit quietly and listen, and then also help with like obtaining information, knowing when it's okay to play and get up and be a kid, and whenever it's time to sit down and be in school. But then also like help her kind of branch out. I know that she's also struggles with like, whenever you go into a new situation, she's very nervous, shy, I don't know anybody, kind of help her kind of branch out from that, I guess you could say. And then also like at home too, knowing like, okay, my mom has told me that today I need to get my room cleaned. I can't forget. I need to go in there and get my room clean. Kind of help with day-to-day activities, and help her also, in the long haul, wean her off the medicine. Because yes, they had diagnosed her with ADHD and she's a little dyslexic. But again, she's hyper because she's a kid. She's 9 years old. She's gonna be hyper. Any kid's gonna be hyper and want to run around. And then I just didn't like the idea of having her on medication to suppress that. I wanted something else, something better, solution. There you go. I was a little concerned about like time, because of course, I worked Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. What if I can only come between like work hours? I was really nervous about that. But whenever I met and spoke with y'all, it was, you can come after work, or it was very working with our schedule. So then that was kind of just a breath of fresh air. Cost wise, I know it wasn't covered by health insurance, but to me it wasn't a big deal. I wasn't worried about it because it was, in the end, for Anistyn, a big solution of getting her off that medication. So I didn't care what I was gonna have to pay. I started noticing within like the first week. I mean, so before we started the lesson, she was, I mean, I would put her to bed at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is bedtime. And she would stay awake until
like 2 in the morning.
2 in the morning. I mean, just 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I'm not tired. I just lay in bed. I'd even like take away her tablet or turn off the TV and stuff. She'd end up just laying there awake. So big concern was just like, oh my gosh, she's not getting enough sleep for school. So within like the first week, she was going and laying down by 8, but then of course like being asleep by 10, which was huge. It was start off with like just little things. You know, she would go in and you know, I would only have to tell her like 2 times, hey, pick up your room, and she actually like would do it. She would listen. I wouldn't have to come back in and be like, Anistyn, I've told you to clean your room, pick up your mess. And I noticed she wasn't coming home with any marks. She wasn't getting like phone calls from me getting phone calls from the teacher saying, oh, Anistyn, she's not focusing, she's been talking a lot. You know, those completely stopped. So I knew it was something was working. Probably her like retaining things that I would tell her. Again, like giving Anistyn like a list of things to do, like, you know, come home, and whenever you come home, I want you to, you know, you can have a little snack, then I want you to just sit down and do your homework, and once you're complete with that, pick up your room, and then after that you can play, because I was at work. So I would come home, you know, she would actually even call me while I was still at work. Hey mom, I finished my homework. I'm gonna go, I've already done this, and this, picked up my room. Is it okay if I play on my tablet? Yeah, absolutely, sure, yes. And it was just like little things like that. Like, she was very just, I guess like disciplined, not like disciplined, but she was just being better. I mean, just like a better, more polite kid, you know, just minding her manners, asking for permission, just being just so sweet. I guess you could say. Not like she wasn't sweet before, but just, I could just start seeing little things like that. Oh, and the big thing is let's see, I know that my fiance had told her, you know, whenever you get up every day, you should try and make your bed. Just start off with one good thing before you start your day, and it makes you kind of just feel good about yourself. You should just make your bed every day. And I just noticed, like, every morning before we would get off into the drop-off line, I would come in her room, hey, Anistyn, you ready? And I just would notice her bed's made. I was like, okay.
But now she doesn't have to ask me to clean my room. I'll just do it, and I say, I have a surprise for you, close your eyes. And I cleaned it. It's clean, even the closet.
I mean, y'all were both very sweet. Y'all talked in depth about like how it's gonna go schedule wise, you know, what you're gonna be doing with Anistyn, and of course, like, Anistyn absolutely loved whenever she came up here, especially with you, Amber. She absolutely loved to come up here and do it. I mean, she was not shy. She would just walk on up, come on in. So it was a good relationship. And then same with me. I mean, if I was going to be late, quick little text, you know, or if, you know, I couldn't make it, would reschedule, easy peasy. So it was really good. Oh my gosh, no, I would not. I would still feel like she would need to be on the medication, and, you know, just still struggling with her getting the homework done and being good in class, and arguing with her whenever she got home and stuff, and still struggling to branch out with her foods. You know, just, I feel like we would not be in this where she's at now. I mean, it's been a complete 360 with her. I would 100% recommend, because I know I'm not the only parent who feels guilty of putting their kid on medication, especially whenever they're giving you feedback saying, Mom, I don't like this medicine. It's making me have headaches. It's making my tummy hurt. I'm not wanting to eat. And, you know, you're always going to have like your kids struggle in school with being hyper and wanting to talk because, again, they're kids. And, you know, it puts a lot of strain on you as a parent having the teachers call and tell you, hey, your kid's being bad in school. Hey, your kid's not listening. And then you're like, well, I mean, I've put him on medication. What more do you want from me? And then going and doing like the brain, you know, the brain therapy, the neurofeedback. I mean, it's just amazing how much Anistyn has changed. I mean, she's not on the medicine anymore. She's a great kid. She's being still in class and listening. Of course, you know, she's still Anistyn. She's going to be kooky, crazy fun and wanting to play, but she listens whenever you tell her, you know, like, hey, class, it's time to come in, sit down, and do our work. She's doing that. So I would, and she's not on the medication. So, I mean, that's a big step, huge. So I would definitely recommend.
Coming in and watch my favorite shows.
Okay. I don't know what
All
you
right,
mean.
well, let me go ahead and give you your. Oh, there you go.
Brain baby.
Dun 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 dun. So you tell me.
10.
Look how cool that is.
So the light bulb and the stars glow in the dark.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Can you turn the lights off?
I don't know if
It's a
they'll glow in
star.
here. It's going to be kind of lit.
Yeah.
But when you put it on your shelf, you'll see. And I did write you a little note on the bottom.
Let me know.
So you can
We love you, Anistyn. Be your best, Amber.